That flash over the Ukrainian battlefield? It's not just an explosion, it's the sound of a $4 billion defense network getting outplayed by a machine that costs less than a used car. And if you watch till the end, you'll see why this isn't just a Ukrainian victory. A Ukrainian AI-powered drone, flying blind through a storm of electronic interference, finds its mark, dives, and destroys a high-value Russian target. How? By using a new breed of intelligence that isn't human, doesn't panic, and can make decisions faster than any pilot on Earth. This isn't just another new weapons story. This is a turning point in warfare, where algorithms are beginning to dismantle one of Russia's most expensive and carefully built advantages. It's the invisible war for the skies, and the smartest drones Ukraine has ever flown are rewriting the rules. To understand why this matters, you first have to know what these drones are flying into. Since the first days of the invasion, Russia has leaned hard on one of its crown jewels, electronic warfare, EW. Think of it as a billion-dollar force field made of static and code. A sprawling digital fortress, stretching across the front, designed to blind anything that tries to take aim at Russia's forces. The Krasuka 4 can smother 300 kilometers of sky in electronic fog, cutting off satellites and scrambling radar like a hurricane of white noise. The Shipovnik Arrow, it's a hacker's missile defense built to seize control of incoming drones mid-flight and send them crashing to the ground. And the Pol-21 turns entire regions into GPS dead zones, a 150-kilometer dome where navigation simply dies. Even the grunts in the trenches carry personal jammers, frying any quadcopter that strays too close. This isn't just a defensive wall, it's a predator's cage, and inside it, any conventional drone is a doomed animal. Lose the signal to your pilot, lose your GPS, and you fall from the sky like a stone. For years, this was Russia's trump card. If they could blind your eyes and plug your ears, you could never hit them. But now, a new generation of drones is arriving. They don't rely on constant control, they don't need GPS. And in some cases, they don't even need a human. So how do you send a $15,000 drone into a multi-billion-dollar electronic fortress and expect it to survive? It's not one magic trick. It's a fusion of technologies that together give the drone something Russia never planned for, a brain of its own. The most critical piece is the onboard AI, the drone's pilot, that doesn't blink, panic, or lose focus. A human operator can guide it close to the fight, threading it through layers of jamming and radar. But when the camera spots its prey, a tank, a radar dish, an artillery battery, that's when the machine takes over. Using machine vision, it locks on and commits to the kill. From that point, Russia's jammers are like shouting into the wind. They can sever the link to the operator, but they can't override the drone's own decision to dive. The final seconds are a pure autonomous sprint. No commands needed, no signal to disrupt. But brains are nothing without a sense of direction. In a GPS dead zone, even the smartest drone risks becoming lost. So Ukrainian engineers have given them a second set of eyes, visual navigation. Cameras scan the ground below, comparing what they see with a preloaded map, like a hiker finding their way with landmarks. An inertial measurement unit tracks motion, acceleration, rotation, while a technique called optical flow calculates speed and heading by watching how the terrain moves in its field of view. It's terrain reading, not satellite following. Even when GPS is completely gone, the drone can still find its way. The US is supplying tens of thousands of AI-powered guidance modules specifically built to give Ukrainian drones this kind of independence in jammed skies. Not every drone has it yet, and bad weather can still cause trouble, but the core concept is proving lethal. In short, Ukraine is building drones that can think, see, and hunt without ever needing permission from the sky. And when these smarter drones hit the battlefield, they don't just damage hardware, they break the math of war. Here's why. A Russian Pantsir air defense system costs millions of dollars. Each missile it fires can cost hundreds of thousands more. Now imagine forcing that system to waste one of those missiles on a $15,000 drone. Do it once and it's an irritation. Do it 100 times and it's economic bleeding. That's the cost-exchange ratio. And right now, it's one of Ukraine's sharpest weapons. Russia can't afford to ignore the drones. One could take out a radar worth tens of millions, but it also can't afford to swat down every cheap target with gold-plated interceptors. So Ukraine pushes the imbalance further with saturation tactics. 10 drones, maybe 20, come in from multiple angles at once. A single system might kill one or two, the rest slip through. For commanders, it's a nightmare choice. Spend your limited missiles now, or gamble that the drone streaking toward you is a bluff. Of course, this isn't checkmate. It's a sprinting arms race. Russia is evolving too, rolling out its own AI-driven drones that can navigate in jammed zones. And in a twist worthy of a spy novel, both sides now deploy drones tethered to kilometers of thin fiber-optic cable. The cable carries the signal, making jamming impossible. The Russians used it first, Ukraine copied fast, and now in some frontline sectors the ground is littered with strands of glinting fiber, the discarded webbing of an invisible duel. Every month brings a new move, a new counter, and a new counter to the counter. In this fight, agility and cost matter as much as firepower. And it's becoming clear, the side that learns faster could own the skies. Step back from the explosions for a moment, and the picture that emerges is bigger and more dangerous than any single battle. First, the economics. Every time a $15,000 drone forces Russia to fire a missile worth hundreds of thousands, Ukraine wins twice, once in the air and once in the Kremlin's budget. This isn't just warfare, it's financial attrition. Russia is already draining a huge slice of its national wealth into the war, and now its billion-dollar defense network is being bled by machines that cost less than a family sedan. That's death by 1,000 receipts. Second, the philosophy. Russia is waging a war of mass, pulling decades-old Soviet armor out of warehouses and flooding the front with conventional weapons. Ukraine is waging a war of ideas. A decentralized network of startups, coders, and frontline units are building and field testing new tech in weeks, not years. The AI drone revolution is the perfect example of necessity turning into strategic advantage. And then, the shift in air power. For most of modern history, precision strikes deep in enemy territory were the realm of superpowers with billion-dollar air forces. Now, a smaller nation can achieve similar reach with autonomous drones that cost a fraction of a fighter jet's price tag. It's like handing a slingshot to David that can hit Goliath from miles away, over and over again. The balance of power isn't just tilting, it's cracking. What once sounded like science fiction, swarms of intelligent self-guiding weapons outmaneuvering the most advanced defenses, is now playing out in real combat. And it's forcing every military planner in the world to ask the same question. If billion-dollar defenses can be humbled by low-cost AI, what's really safe? The rise of the AI-assisted drone isn't just a footnote in the Russo-Ukrainian war. It's a glimpse into the wars of the next century. Ingenuity, born from desperation, is challenging a military machine with a budget hundreds of times larger. Right now, in the electromagnetic shadows over Ukraine, an invisible battle is raging, Russia's brute force jamming against drones that are learning to think for themselves. And that battle is teaching the world a brutal truth. In the 21st century, speed of innovation can hit harder than raw industrial power. The nations that master low-cost, intelligent tech won't just survive future wars. They'll dictate how those wars are fought. And here's the thing, what's happening over Ukraine is just the beginning. The same tech that's burning holes in Russia's defenses could redefine how every major power fights. We're tracking it all, from the code inside the drone's brain to the billion-dollar defenses crumbling in front of them. So if you want to see where this is going, before it hits the next battlefield, subscribe to Battlefield Watch, hit that bell, and stay with us. Because the next war won't just be fought with bullets and bombs. It'll be fought with ideas, and the side that learns faster wins.